Music is my life. I began studying the violin at age 9.5 and have been a classical violinist for 45 years. I believe that music is for the good of humanity, and despite the pain of losing my dear ones, I have been able to give generously to people through my art. What is luck? Just ask me. I was born July 1934 in Libau, Latvia. I was an only child and had many relatives to spoil me. We lived 3 blocks from the beach in an apartment house that my grandparents owned. We had a comfortable life, but by 1939 conditions were becoming dangerous and my family wanted to leave Latvia. My uncle, Max Rabinowitz, a famous pianist and composer who worked for Warner Brothers in Hollywood, sent affidavits for us to travel to the United States, but we still had no visas from the Latvian government. My father went out to buy a Leica camera for our journey. I was too young to know what happened in the camera shop, but my father came home with a Leica and 3 visas. In July 1939, my grandmother accompanied us on the train as far as Paris, where we all stayed with my uncle, George Blizniansky, until our departure date. She returned home to Libau. We left Cherbourg on the Batory, the last Polish liner to leave Europe, on September 1st, 1939. I remember our departure in the middle of the night. We were rowed out to the ship in lifeboats. It took 11 days to cross the Atlantic because we had to zigzag across the ocean to avoid the German U-boats. The Batory was carrying some of the Polish state treasures, including gold and a copy of the Gutenberg Bible. We arrived in New York and relatives took us to see the New York World's Fair. Then we took a train to Los Angeles, where my Uncle Max took us into the sanctuary of his home. My grandmother corresponded with us weekly. She was a careful letter writer and outwitted the censors. She sent us updates about herself and my cousin Ilyusha, who lived with her. In late 1941, her letters stopped. At a place called Skid, near the lovely beach where I once played, my grandmother Paulina Blizniansky and my 14-year-old cousin Ilyusha and 2,747 others were murdered by the Nazis and shoved into a ravine. In 2005, my family, my brother's family, and 2 cousins traveled to Latvia. We traced our family roots and visited the Jewish cemetery in Libau. At Skid, we held hands, and with great sadness, we said Kaddish at the memorial. May the world never again face such cruelty. I think of my own life. I think of the loss of the 6 million Jews at the hand of Hitler, and I say, there, but for the grace of God, go I.